I'm Italian, and we Italians love pasta.
We do love pasta. Agree, very good. I use it for pizza, I use it for pasta, and sometimes I use it for the walls when I have to close the hole on the wall. It's really useful for anything.
What?
This basically means that we've done a really good job keeping a nice, light, fluffy interior.
Stop moving, Nick, otherwise the cameraman cannot focus. Stop moving your hands.
Make sure you keep yourself motivated and move fast. Ow, God.
That's how he motivates himself. Gnocchi. In this video we are reacting to Nick Di Giovanni gnocchi. This video has over 1 million views. Does the video deserve over 1 million views? Let's find out.
I'm Italian, and we Italians love pasta.
We do love pasta. In fact, in Italy, we eat pasta every single day at lunchtime. Yes, at lunchtime. It's not a dinner thing. I live in Australia. In Australia, we eat pasta at night, occasionally, like a few times a week.
As you probably know, there's so many different types of pasta.
Yes, there are more than 400 types of pasta. Some people say there are more than 600 different types of pasta. I think nobody knows because every region, every city have their own pastas, and it's too hard to find how many pastas there are in Italy because we have too many cities, so many regions, and who's gonna go and try all these pastas? I'm happy to do it.
Now, a lot of them are just different shapes. And who doesn't love different shapes? But let's face it, at the end of the day, a lot of those pastas are the same exact thing. And maybe...
You're kind of right, Nick. They're all the same thing, but not really. Shape is different, tradition is different. The sauce that you serve the pasta with, it's different. For example, you cannot serve bolognese sauce with any type of pasta. Why? Because the bolognese sauce needs to kind of be absorbed by the pasta, and when you collect the pasta you want the sauce and the meat to be stuck on the pasta. When you make spaghetti bolognese you don't get the best experience because the spaghetti are not good enough to collect the meat and the sauce. So that's why you use tagliatelle or fettuccine or penne, so the bolognese goes inside the penne. This is something you guys need to learn more about it.
Today, we'll use the humble potato to make gnocchi. Honestly, a lot of people I think are scared to make gnocchi. Maybe they just have no idea how to make it or no idea where it comes from. I've heard many people say they're just scared of making it way too dense and heavy, which is a really common problem with gnocchi.
I know. There is an important step when you cook gnocchi, and it's when you boil the potatoes. And when is the right time to take it out, of course, from the boiling water, and how to kind of rest these boiling potatoes before you start kneading the dough, okay? We were gonna talk about this, and I believe Nick is gonna show us, but that's the most important part, the way you cook the potato and how you let it cool down.
I actually happen to think it's one of the easiest pastas to make. Think about how often you...
It's going a bit too far. It could be easy, but it's not the easiest. See, in my family, I don't have the gnocchi power. Suzanne, my wife, took the power from Nonna, so she's in charge of the gnocchi. I am not good at gnocchi the way Suzanne is right now, so not everyone can do gnocchi. You do need to have a gnocchi power, and you need to have the big responsibility in the family to be the gnocchi master.
My go-to for gnocchi is always russet potatoes. I'm sure you can use some of the other nice starchy types, but this right here is just a great way to go.
Yeah, they're good. In Australia, I think Suzanne uses Desiree, like the purple potatoes. Nonna uses this type of potatoes. They're a little bit bigger and they're rough, so they need to be washed and they need to be peeled.
To start, I'm going to peel all my potatoes. I like to take 2 bowls, one filled with ice cold water. Peeling as quickly as you can so the potatoes don't oxidize. Place your potatoes straight into the cold water.
I've never seen Nonna doing that, but okay.
This will actually help to rinse off some of the starch, as well as keep them from oxidizing and getting that ugly brown color. Now I'll do the same with the rest of my potatoes.
It could be dangerous, be careful not to cut yourself. It's funny because Nonna doesn't use this utensil. She's very old school and she uses the knife to peel the potatoes. It's just fascinating.
Now once you've peeled all your potatoes and have placed everything in this bowl of cold water, discard your peels and then gently just rinse them around for a second.
I'm glad he's not using the cut finger. We don't want any blood in the sauce.
Disgusting.
Now I'll place down a small pot and add my potatoes. To speed things up a little bit, I'll pour some boiling water right over these.
That's the thing, you don't speed it up. You don't speed it up.
Once they're fully covered, we're gonna cook these until they're fork tender and fluffy, about 25 minutes or so. Once your potatoes are nice and fork tender, remove these from the heat. Add your potatoes to a...
That's the thing, what he's saying makes sense, it's right, but watch.
Once they're fully covered, we're gonna cook these until they're fork tender and fluffy, about 25 minutes or so.
It's kind of right when it says 20 minutes or so, yes, it could be right. It depends on the potato, you really need to touch it.
They're nice and fork tender, remove...
See, he needs to show us what it needs to look like. We don't want mashed potatoes. We do not want mashed potatoes. We want soft potatoes, yes. But you need to show us. It's a very important step. When you put the fork in the potato, you want that potato to be soft. So you want the fork to be able to go in easily. But don't forget, you don't want that mushy. No, otherwise your potatoes gnocchi do not turn out.
Add your potatoes to a bowl, then place a dish towel right over the top. This will steam your potatoes and get them really nice and fluffy.
I don't agree. Nonna, straight away, right now, and not just Nonna, lots of people who make gnocchi, right now, straight away, use the vegetable meal, or whatever you want to, potato masher, or whatever you want to use, to kind of mash the potatoes, okay? In a particular way. You don't want to mash them, sorry, that's not the right word. You want to crush them, so you mash them.
Mashed. I can mash them.
Most people don't do this step, but I actually think it's really important when making mashed potatoes or something similar.
Did Gordon Ramsay teach you this?
This right here is a potato ricer. And after steaming, this is what I use to get those potatoes even fluffier. Now, we'll open this up and add one of our potatoes into the compartment. Then close this down and right into the middle of your cutting board, let that come through. Do that same thing with the rest of your potatoes.
The potatoes look good. They're not mushy, they look very good. The texture, you can tell the texture is perfect. Because if they're too mushy, you can tell straight away. This is a very good consistency. Nonna will be very proud of you, Nick.
Once we have our nice little pile of potato, I'll take my bowl and make just a little bit of an indent in the middle. I
like when Nick makes the well like that. He always uses the bowl to do it.
I want to always keep this very, very fluffy. So never mash this down. Gnocchi is all about that light, cloudy pillow.
Bravissimo.
Sprinkle on about 1.5 cups of flour, really gently across all of my dough, and then into that same bowl, I'll crack 1 egg, which I'll quickly whisk up and add right into the center of my potatoes. Typically, you're supposed to mix the egg with the potatoes first, then work in the flour.
See, he knows his stuff.
Slowly start mixing everything in together. Keep it really, really light. You're not needing some big ball of dough here. Normally, I really like to get in there with both hands, but my Band-Aid is keeping me.
Yes, please do not use your Band-Aid for this.
Goal here is to get everything nicely incorporated, and you never want to over mix. The same way we do this with regular pasta, I'll now take my bench scraper, which is a really helpful tool to have if you have a wooden cutting board.
I agree, very good. I use it for pizza, I use it for pasta, and sometimes I use it for the walls when I have to close the hole on the wall. It's really useful for anything.
What?
Our nice dough ball right in the middle, which we'll just flour around on the board a little bit. We'll cut our dough ball into about 4 big chunks. Reserve 3 of these to the side. Take a nice close look at one of our pieces.
I don't get what he's doing now, okay? Because normally you cut slices, or how you want to call it, and make lots of long gnocchi snakes, I call them. I don't know what he's doing with this big piece of dough.
See how many air bubbles there are in there? Those nice air pockets? This basically means that we've done a really good job keeping a nice, light, fluffy interior.
Stop moving, Nick, otherwise the cameraman cannot focus. Stop moving your hands.
Roll this piece out into a nice thin line. Again, try not to really press down on it. Instead, I like to let my hands lightly roll, and the piece of gnocchi sort of does the rest of the work. Once I get a long strip, I like to cut it in half again, and then line these up. Now, if you don't...
See, with that big piece of dough, you could have made at least 4 or 5 little snakes, I call them. You're probably making large gnocchi, so that's the reason why you didn't make so many gnocchi snakes. Looking good, so good, and they look nice and fluffy.
Many people would stop right here and just chop down the line to make little pieces of gnocchi.
Yeah, that's what I will do. And me personally, Nonna will use a specific knife together with Suzanne. But these look good, these gnocchi. I just like them the way they are.
This should look pretty familiar to you. But a lot of people also like to take this board, place the gnocchi at the start, and simply roll down it, which will give you that really nice light pattern on there. And this is what I'm gonna do for mine.
What they do is they collect the sauce a little bit better because of those lines. So it gives also a nice rough surface, you know, and to be honest, I like it. So it's really personal. It doesn't mean it's wrong or right. It's just showing you two options.
Down the line to make a bunch of evenly sized pieces of gnocchi. It's totally okay if they don't all turn out perfect. Because keep in mind that by rolling them, you'll sort of get all of them into the same shape anyway.
He's right, I mean, they don't need to look the same because you're doing an artisan job. You're using your hands. So they don't need to look the same. If they look the same, it means they've been made by a machine.
Because we have so many pieces of gnocchi to do here, make sure you keep yourself motivated and move fast. Ow, God.
That's how he motivates himself. I wonder what he does in bed to motivate himself. What do you do, Nick?
Spicy.
Now it's time to rock and roll. Get really nice clean cuts through your last line of gnocchi. To cook your gnocchi, start by adding a nice handful of salt to your boiling water.
But the water was not boiling. Is it boiling now? But why do you guys use a small pan? Why? You're not shallow frying. It's a small pan. Use a large pot, please, to boil the gnocchi. The gnocchi needs space. Gnocchi needs room. Gnocchi needs to dance in the pot. If you go to a nightclub and you don't have space to dance, you don't have a good time. When you dance, you need space. So the gnocchi.
Since we want them all to be these pretty little pillows, I'll slide them off into the boiling water. But try to do this all at once. When the gnocchi are floating, remove them from the heat.
He's completely right. The gnocchi come to surface on their own. You don't need to do anything. When they do that, they tell you, get me out. But guys, the sauce needs to be ready. Why is he making the sauce now? Where is the sauce? You can't let the gnocchi sit. They need to go straight in the sauce. This is a must, Nick. For any type of pasta, especially gnocchi, do not leave them out. Please, they need to go in the sauce straight away.
I want to get them nice and crispy, so I'll add a few tablespoons of butter.
Crispy? You work so hard to make your gnocchi nice and fluffy. You show me how to cook the potatoes right. You want to make them fluffy, super fluffy, they're so good. And now you want to make them crispy? I don't understand what you're trying to do here. Did Gordon Ramsay teach you this?
Once your butter's melted, scoop out your gnocchi with a really thin slice.
Oh, so you left the gnocchi in there, so you didn't take them out straight away. Gordon, what have you done to Nick?
Then add them into the butter. Do this over a really nice high heat to get those golden brown bottoms, keeping a close eye on this to make sure that your butter doesn't burn. Once they're close to being done, I'll take some of my homemade truffle butter and scoop that in. Most truffle butter you'll see won't have this much truffle.
He loves truffle butter, clearly. It's just sad that the gnocchi are not mixed with the sauce. Why? You have to make them crispy. Why? Who taught you this?
I also have this frozen piece of winter white truffle that I can shave over my pasta when I'm done, but I'll reserve that for later. Once these start to get nice and golden brown, flip them around a little bit. You can see that these have got a really nice crust on some of them.
That's not the way you should do the gnocchi. That's not the way you treat gnocchi, please. Why? The gold for the gnocchi is to have them beautiful, fluffy, melting in your mouth. And it should be soft, pillows, mixed with sauce, pesto, butter and sage, whatever you want.
Let these get a little bit more buttered up, and then we'll remove this from the heat. Our gnocchi is done. I'll add my gnocchi to the center of my plate. The golden brown crust that we got on this is seriously incredible.
Remember what you said before, Nick? I'm Italian and I love gnocchi.
I'm Italian, and we Italians love pasta.
Italians do not do this. Italians do not make the gnocchi fried or crispy, whatever you call it, okay? We do have gnocco fritto, which is not gnocchi. It's like a fried pizza. It's like a pizza dough that you fry. It's a small one and you can put mortadella on top. That's gnocco fritto, it's not gnocchi. Okay, I like the idea. I do like the idea of frying gnocchi the way you're doing it, even though they're burned. I do like the idea of trying it. But if you're showing me a tutorial how to make gnocchi, I want to see the fluffy gnocchi to go straight from the pot to a nice sauce. Toast, 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 serve and eat.
Once we piled up all our gnocchi and added our crispy truffle to the top, I'll go ahead with one of the biggest chunks of Parmesan cheese I think I've ever gotten, and just lightly shave it over the top of this. I want these very delicate curls going all across the plate, and I don't want to cover my gnocchi.
It's a bit dry, there's no sauce in there. Oof, your gnocchi are not making love with any sauce, you just got snacks. I call them snacks, you can eat them by hand. They are afternoon snacks or midnight snacks when you watch Netflix. I can't call this pasta because there is no sauce in there.
Normally I'd use a truffle shaver for this truffle. Because this truffle's been frozen for several months now, it's not gonna shave super well. But I'm still gonna give it a little shot and just try to get a little bit of nice white truffle on here. And this right here is our plate. This thing will truly be indescribable. So let's give it a taste. This seriously has to be one of the most pretty dishes out there. That gnocchi just begs to be eaten.
It's pretty impressive. I mean, the beautiful amount of truffle you used, the white truffle, I'm impressed. I'm impressed, Nick. You got white truffle in the freezer, amazing. I want to try it. I'm interested to try Nick Di Giovanni fried gnocchi. Will they replace my Nonna gnocchi? No way, no way. My Nonna gnocchi are on YouTube. Go and watch them, guys, please. Watch them, make them. And then you can enjoy amazing gnocchi the real Italian way, the way the Italians love to eat them. This, yes, it's 1 million views, okay, you enjoyed it. But I think Nonna deserves more than 1 million views, guys. And I believe Nick agrees with me, okay? This is a great idea, okay, Nick? Good idea, nice to have fun in the kitchen. But Nonna's gnocchi deserve more views. Please, Nick, help Nonna to get more views than your gnocchi, please.
And there's something about taking that extra step for me that I love. It's not that hard for me to brown that with some butter at the end, yet it gives this amazing crust to add to the texture. So not only do we have this pillowy, fluffy bite on the inside, but we also get that crispy bite on the exterior, almost like a French fry, but a lot better.
You said it, French fries are a lot better. It's a snack, or it's something that you have burgers, okay? Maybe try next time to have a burger with fried gnocchi. That's not a bad idea. But on Sunday, when I want gnocchi, I want gnocchi. Gnocchi.
I don't even know how to describe that. All I know is I could eat this entire plate in less than a second. Literally, I could shove all of these things in my mouth at once and it'd be gone.
Do it, come on, do it, Nick. Do it right now.
Try to think of a hybrid between a really light, fluffy pancake and the best mashed potatoes you've ever had. It's really good. Then also loop some sort of egg souffle into there. And on top of that, you get a little bit of saltiness from that Parmesan cheese and of course, truffle. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to use truffle.
I believe you, Nick. I believe it is good. I believe it is a great experience and I do want to try. But the video is potato gnocchi. So people that are learning this from you, people who don't know what gnocchi is, who have never made gnocchi, they're gonna make gnocchi this way. And they're gonna teach people how to make gnocchi this way, and they're gonna share this with their family and friends. So, you're not gonna see what I'm saying? The message is not clear. Say potato gnocchi fried like Gordon Ramsay. You will like this new gnocchi experience. This is a good title for you. The potato gnocchi, guys, go and watch my Nonna potato gnocchi. Just search potato gnocchi Vincenzo, potato gnocchi Vincenzo's plate, and you'll see my Nonna in action showing you how to do it step by step. We love Nick. Thank you, Nick, for doing these videos. We love reacting to you. We love watching you. And there is a lot to learn, lots of entertainment in your videos. You're a funny guy and you like to motivate yourself in a very funny way. I don't know how you motivate yourself with your girlfriend, but that must be fun. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I will see you in the next Vincenzo's Plate reaction video. E ora si mangia Nonna's Potato Gnocchi on Vincenzo's Plate.